Yeah, absolutely excited to have Jack Harry, otherwise known as Seafret, on the podcast today. How have you guys been?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Yeah, we can't complain. We're excited today. The album's out today, so it's the sun's out, the album's out. It's yeah, good vibes.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so in terms of the album, like, what does release day look like for you guys? You just kind of hanging out, is it another normal day, or is there a little bit of angst, or what goes into a release day for you?
It's quite chilled. It was quite angsty last night because you just wait till midnight to make sure it actually goes out. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
making
so
sure nothing
today it's
breaks.
like it's happened. Everyone's got it. People are listening. It's a lovely feeling, really.
Mhm.
Last night we had like an online listening party where people from like around the world tuned in and listened to the unreleased songs for like the first time, which was
Mhm.
really nice. It kind of made it feel like you could feel like the excitement from people. Whereas if we
Mm.
didn't do anything like that, it would kind of just like it would just be on Spotify. You've got to make it what you want it to be, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
100%.
today's mainly interviews and kind of replying to people who've sent the love kind of thing, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. In terms of the album, was this something you guys? I feel like the more I talk to artists, the more I feel like it's like you guys are sitting on it for quite some time. How much, how long was it finished kind of beforehand? And I see you guys did like the single after single after single rollout. What is it like, kind of releasing, like, geez, half the album before it's actually like really, fully out?
It's crazy, really. It's just kind of the way it is nowadays. It's
Hmm.
kind of people listen to songs, not records. So it was finished. Like it's probably been sat on our desk for a year. Do you know what I mean?
Months,
Since
yeah.
we put the first single out. Um, so it's old to us. We've lived with it. We've listened to it. But yeah, it's still really exciting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
it's a long process getting it ready and then and writing the songs, collecting everything up, and then the other side of being a musician now is all the online content that you need to create as well to kind of show it off. I just feel like music videos are becoming less of a thing other than the main people who can spend like £100,000 on them.
mm,
So everyone's doing like visualizers and stuff. So there's so much to make content. So really, like in the last, obviously we've been touring and things like that, but we spend a lot more time than we did originally, like say 5 years ago, making things for online, which is another side of it that you just have to get on with and do because it's the only way to reach people and get it
yeah.
out there.
Uh, how does that, do you guys, is it just part of the job for you, or is it something that, like, is it enjoyable, or I feel like most artists find it as like a little bit of a necessary evil?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we enjoy it though. Because we have a laugh, and we always have done. We're good. We're like best mates, so we just
it's
kind
good.
of take the
I was
mick
gonna
out of it a
say
bit. We don't take it too seriously. But you've got to
it's
do it.
good.
It is part of the
It's
job.
also it's also good to like frame the song, isn't it? Like it acts as like a thing. It kind of makes it real once you've got something to visualize and look at it rather than it just being like an icon on a screen, like a
Mm.
song. Or it kind of brings the song to life a little bit more, which is nice. It's never really come naturally to us, like all the social media thing. We were absolutely awful at it at the start. We didn't do anything at all. And then, we had like Atlantis blew up on TikTok. We didn't even have a TikTok account. Like we were just like constantly
Yeah,
chasing this thing.
we've always been a bit behind.
And we are a bit behind, but that's just the way we are. And I mean, we try and we're better at it now. We're a lot better
Mm,
at it now. We're more comfortable in front of a camera and all that kind of thing. But
right.
yeah, for us, it's always been the music that we've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And, and then things started taking off a bit more, so we've had to fall into that world a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. No
It's
doubt.
good fun.
Yeah,
So the album's called Fear of Emotion. I would just love, just kind of I mean, I feel like the album is the title is self-explanatory, but yeah, just some overarching themes behind it, and yeah, what kind of went into it?
yeah. The lyric "Fear of Emotion" is taken from a song called "River of Tears," which is the opening song on the album, and that song. kind of laid the path for the album in terms of like production and feel. We it was the first like kind of heavier, darker sound that we'd done before, and we kind of came about naturally in the studio. So we were like, maybe this is something that we can look into more and like see if we can push Seafret into that world a little bit. Because that's all we've ever done really. We started off acoustic and we're just trying to see what we can get out of the band kind of thing. Just keeps it exciting for us. And Fear of Emotion, the lyric just seemed to tie it all up because as these songs, some are like dark and some of them are more positive and loving, and it's kind of like stepping outside of the album and looking in and going like, probably best to leave that alone.
Yeah.
You know, if you are like giving anyone advice, it's like, this is what it takes to be in love, or this is what it takes to have struggles and to live a normal life. So
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that goes a lot that goes into that, isn't it?
yeah.
So after a listen through this morning, I think, you know, on a first listen, my favorite song is one called "Standing by You,"
Nice.
which is love. Yeah, maybe a little background on that one.
Yeah, so it was actually there was a bit of a betrayal in my family. So there was a couple who you thought would be together all like till the end kind of thing. It kind of all broke down. And the inspiration for that song came from that. And it's quite a hard song to write at the time because it was quite fresh. It was all happening like around me at the time, but I think I used it as a way to just kind of channel it into something and take out a bit of that like fire and anger in my belly.
Yeah. Is so your music, I feel like, always has like some, you know, emotional weight to it. Do you write a lot from like lived experience, or is it, you know, you're kind of meeting it halfway with
Yeah,
like imagination?
it's all like everything I have to be able to have either been in it firsthand or like have witnessed being close to it. So everything on it is like comes from a real place, which is nice. I feel we've always thought that you can just sense it when it's not genuine, especially when you're playing it live on
Yeah.
you know, on stage and trying to be genuine with your emotion and in your voice and everything. I think it can be picked up and detected easily from fans.
Yeah.
And I also try and write like a little bit open ended so people can interpret that how they want to as well, rather than nailing it down like this was this and it was exactly this, and if you weren't there then this doesn't like apply to you. Like I like to
Yeah.
keep it so it's a bit more like, yeah, that happened to me actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think that's just the beauty of music in general, right? Is everybody can kind of take their, you know, their own experience and put it into it and find meaning in it regardless.
Yeah, totally.
Is do you know, you guys had Atlantis go you know, kind of crazy on TikTok. Is there ever any pressure to like, you know, not recreate that virality, but you know, kind of live up to that a little bit?
You kind of did the opposite. It kind of took the pressure off. I feel like because it was the song when it went crazy was 8 years old at the time when it first went. That it kind of made us feel like, one, it gave us time to create this record, and we felt like, oh, well, there's no pressure for us to release anything like straight away because this is having such a big moment. It's filling up so much space online in the Seafret world that we've got more time to do this record. And it also made us feel like, as long as we love it and believe in it, then if it doesn't have a moment now, it might have one later, you know. So
Yeah,
it just put us in that mindset, and we created the album we wanted to create rather than creating something that we thought people would like.
yeah.
Is you know, is I guess, you know, when you guys approached this album, you know, production wise, you mentioned it being a little darker. Was that, you know, it was purposeful, but is it something you guys had to really work on, or was it, you know, just kind of came naturally based off of the songs you were writing?
Yeah, it just came naturally. It was definitely, each song was a song by song basis on the production. It kind of felt like whatever the song needed is what we put down. We were producing it while we were writing it as well, so everything kind of happened naturally and quickly. But like Jack said earlier, you know, like I think River of Tears is one of the first ones we wrote for the record, and we'd built that sound around it, and we definitely pulled elements from that into other songs, you know, whether it was darker synths and heavier sounding drums and just something a bit more punchy.
Yeah. Is it your lyrics first, then build around? Is that usually how the songwriting process is going for you guys, or is it kind of both at the same time?
Yeah, we do it the other way around. So there's usually Harry has some kind of music, and I'll come up with something over the top of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whether it's piano or it's usually guitar.
It's usually guitar.
You do write on piano as well, don't you? You've done like things in the past that have been piano songs, but you are like predominantly guitar, aren't you?
Yeah. It's always some bit of music, but writing it in the studio, you know, there was points when track was being built up before lyric was finished, you know, so it's kind of but we're all on the same, you know, we produced it with a guy called Steve Robson who did our first record as well, and it's kind of like we know him very well, he knows us very well. We're all on the same page in a room creating the same things.
I remember River of Tears, like we were writing the lyric, and we found the structure of the song, and it was like all just gathered around the piano and playing these chords. And then this was wasted on you, I think, with the chorus. When we found the chorus, that was when the song was kind of being written and you guys were doing the production and I was in the background, and it was like the song was coming together, like in the background. I could hear it like all starting to take shape, and that was like influencing my writing. And then I was like stood in the corridor, I could hear it through the doors, writing it all out. And I was like, right, I think I finished it. It's just all happened so fast. It's like those, like, I think the majority of the songs on the album are songs that came probably the easiest rather than trying to force them. We wrote a lot of songs for the album, like, you know, before we picked the best for the album kind of thing. Songs that we might use down the line, but that these certainly felt like they fit best together, didn't they?
Yeah, 100%.
So when you guys are writing the album, is like, what's like a typical, or I don't want to say typical, what's like a number you would pull from that would make the album versus not make the album? Like, how many songs did you have written? And then, you know,
probably had over 20 for this one.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably had over 20. It depends, you know, it depends how strong you feel the songs are at the time. I mean, because we had the Atlantis thing going on and we had time, we just kept going.
Yeah. And so many demos, like we've probably finished that many, didn't we? And then so many demos that just didn't move us, and they didn't have that emotional impact, or they didn't have the, you know, they were nice, they were good, they were solid enough songs, but they just didn't have that like little bit of something about them that made them, you know, warrant them a space on the album kind of thing.
Yeah. It changes though, you know, with the last record with Wonderland, we literally had 12 songs and the album was a 12-track out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Because it felt that space and it felt right at the time.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah. And you guys have been making, you know, music, for a decade at least now. You've seen like the music industry kind of shift. What has changed the most for you as artists over that time?
I think it's so different now. I feel like because everyone has access to it, and everyone has access to so many people online and so many artists, it just makes it really difficult to break through. There's like one side of it where, you've got the exposure, but there's so many people uploading songs and trying to go onto Spotify playlists and New Music Friday playlists and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I feel like if I was starting out now, I'd feel it would be quite stressful. Whereas when we did it, it was more like the first song we put up was on SoundCloud, and like people started listening to it, and we were like, oh, like it's when people were using SoundCloud before, like all that kind of stuff, you know, and just like makes you feel old when you say stuff like that.
Yeah, it was, and you were judged on iTunes sales rather than streams, you know, and like you were still selling physical, so it's so different now. Yeah, it's exciting in a new way, but I agree with Jack. I'm glad that we're not a new band trying to find our way through this world of TikTok, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, certainly learned a lot about it all, like going through major labels, independent labels, doing it ourselves, doing it half and half. I do feel like the half and half way has been great for us, because it's kind of like it takes the weight off you as a band, gives you that creative space. But you also have a team around you to help. We tried to do it ourselves once, like was it Most of Us Are Strangers album?
Mm.
And it's just like you don't realize how much work there actually is, like emails and all that, like everything to juggle all at once. So it's finding that whatever works for you, I think.
Yeah. And I guess nowadays is it really streaming numbers that matters the most to an artist? Like, is that really where you're basing success off of?
I think labels and management, yeah. I think probably us, yeah, probably a little bit. But we love to go out and play the songs and see people singing them back and travel the world. We love traveling. We've been lucky to go all around the world in the last 10 years. So I feel like I base it more on that than a number. It's just
I
a
think
number, isn't it?
Like a label thing would be streams for sure, and views, on your following on your Instagram and all that kind of stuff. It's strange. It's like morphing away from like just music, like into something else, isn't it? Everyone kind of has to be not only a musician but also like a public kind of facing figure that's like, I'm also funny and I do this and I do this, and I'm like, I'm not just a musician, because that's not enough. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? It's like it's not enough to make the music that people want. You've got to be funny and you've got to do things. And
yeah, it's super interesting because like there's also like that side of it where people like do have this like huge following and they do have this huge forward facing, and then like they're still, the shows are just like not filling up the way that you would like expect, right?
Yeah.
It's a really interesting like juxtaposition of, are these people like actually listening to your music, or is it like your online personality that is like what's driving it the most?
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
super interesting a space to be in, one that certainly don't envy.
There's so many gray areas in it, isn't there? There's so many like things that cross over and don't. It's hard, man.
So in terms of your guys, entire career, was there a point that you could, or like a moment that you could point to where it felt like, I don't want to say you knew that you had made it, but like where this was really turned into a viable lifestyle for you guys?
It's been a journey. It's been a build, hasn't it? It's been a gradual build. I mean, Atlantis was a moment where it's like, I think because that was the moment when basically, your huge debt with a label gets paid off. So like we hadn't ever seen any money, had we? For like really for years doing it, and we were grinding, we were out there playing and all that. But that's what happens with the label.
Side.
We needed to do it, and we needed to. Everyone, gets in debt with a label and stuff, but you half don't expect to pay it off. But I think with the success of Atlantis and it helping us out in that way, then we were like, actually, this is more long term than, we're not gonna. It kind of, that was a bit of a moment. Also, the kind of recognition of the amount of people listening to the song, like.
Getting the disc that says you've got 1 billion streams on Spotify was pretty much like, okay, we've done all right here. It's I'm not off to the job centre just yet. But but because it was a gradual
always
build.
prepared for.
I feel like every year we kind of felt better and better about it all, because like the first album we then went and toured Europe for the first time. Then the next year we went a bit further afield, and then the next year we went to South America for the first time, and then we went to it was like we didn't just do a record and do it all and then go, oh wow. It's like we've gradually kind of built our world a little bit bigger.
If so I'm curious, if Seafret never made it, what jobs are we doing? What job center are we going to?
It's all I've done.
Harry would just probably work for Amazon, which you'd be really good at because you drive really fast, so you get everything just dropped off in the morning.
I'd be one of them throwing it out the window, pulling up, trying to get it through the letterbox.
No doubt.
And I'd probably be a builder or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably just be laying bricks. That's what I did when I left school. I did that for a little bit. So I'd probably just still be there just
Mhm.
building houses, knocking them up, knocking them down.
Yeah. What's in terms of your guys' sound, right? So everybody always asks like this, musical. What are your kind of inspirations? But is there like a non-musical influence that really plays into your guys' sound, or like a place that always kind of inspires you creatively?
I feel like where we grew up, a little town called Bridlington. It's in East Yorkshire, so northeast of England. Small town by the sea, countryside. Not many people live there. I feel like that does, because we moved away. We moved down to London, the big city, to do the first record, and only when you move away from somewhere that you take for granted, it's a beautiful place, but there was just nothing there for us. But moving away, looking back, it was like, oh, that's amazing. That, not just because family and friends are there, because of the nature and the ocean, and it'll always
Yeah,
be, it inspired the name Seafret because you're from the sea, and yeah, that place will always
yeah,
be
that's what
there,
came to
won't it?
mind for me. Yeah.
Is a question I love asking everybody is if you were teaching a music class, and you had 4 or 5 albums that was required listening kind of based on your music taste, what would be those 4 or 5 albums?
Nice.
Mm, good one. I'd
Uh,
start with a John Martin album. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's the reason I started playing guitar. Incredible musician, incredible songwriter. He was kind of a folk guy in the, I guess, 70s. So Solid Air John Martin would be my first one to play.
I would do Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. That was always a good one for me when I was first starting out.
Yeah,
Other records, oh my god, so many.
I'd do Damien Rice record,
Yeah,
because
the
I feel
first
like
one or
that's
the
so
second one.
real. The first record, it's so real and honest, and everything's recorded beautifully, and everything's thought about. There's not loads on it. What is on it means something. So yeah,
There's
go with that one.
trying to think of the Elliott Smith album
Mm,
with Angeles on it,
mm.
and also Nick Drake. Can't remember what the album's called now, but it's the purple one where he's just sat on the chair, and it's got all the big ones on.
I'd
Incredible
go with a
album.
White Stripes record as well.
White
I'd go as
Stripes.
because it's just like, look what two people can do.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah,
a good song and you've got two great musicians. Like, they've stuck at it. Look what bigger
they're
sound you
on.
can get just from a
Yeah,
two piece.
kind of underestimate how much of an influence White Stripes were on us as a band, because obviously we're very different, but it was the fact, like, I was a big fan as well, wasn't I? And
Mm,
I still am, but there's just the power of it and like the emotion in it, and it's so stripped. It's literally just a drum and a vocal and a guitar, but like that pushed me from being just like staying soft, quiet, singing all the time, and made me do things like Be There, Monsters, River of Tears, all that kind of thing. Give it like, you can have that like slight rock element in it, and
Yeah.
people like don't expect it, because if you're doing a song like Give Me Something and it's just so small and like intimate, and then you go in like River of Tears is like fucking wow. It's really it's great. Like, it really adds to the show as well, which is
mm.
When you guys make, when you're writing music or putting an album together, does how it's going to sound live influence how you're putting it together?
Probably more so now than it ever did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say the same.
Because we've toured for 10 years, so you kind of know what you're missing, or like
Yeah.
you'll write a set list and you won't be gutted, but you'll think, oh, I wish I had another one that was a bit more like that, or I wish we had a bit more pace in this section. So I
Yeah.
think you do subconsciously. You're
Yeah.
not thinking
Yeah.
about like, how is this going to go down live? But I definitely think there is something in that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Because
Yeah.
especially, you guys mentioned how much you love that live
Mm.
feeling, right? So I would imagine it would have to kind of play into that. Um, in terms of your guys' discography, right? Like, what is a song? It doesn't have to be Atlantis by any means, but what song are you most proud of?
I've always thought Oceans, because of its simplicity. I've always thought, like, just because it's just such a simple lyric and they're really hard songs, I've found they're really hard songs to write. That song came really easy and just came, I came out with the melody and the words kind of as soon as Harry started playing. It was like one of the first things I sang to it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I've always just liked it for that kind of like heart, like it grabs you and just it's emotional and simple. So I like that.
It's a lovely one. I'd go with To the Sea because it's another one from the first record, but it's the oldest song on the first record. It's one of them songs that me and Jack wrote in my bedroom when we first started. So it's the one that stood the test of time. There's only a couple of songs from that period in our lives that made it onto the first record because we were writing so much when we moved to London, and that was one of them. And I feel like it sets the scene for Seafret in such a nice way. Yeah, To the Sea.
Yeah, love that. And I live my life in music curation, so I love asking, a song or a project that you've really been into recently.
I mean,
there's so much cool stuff.
Yeah. What have I been listening to? Wait, let me have a quick look on my Spotify.
Yeah, go for it.
I've got one. I'll speak while you're thinking.
Yeah, go on.
Come across a guy, you'll probably know him, Cameron Whitcomb.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his latest record, but I saw him on TikTok and I was like, wow, what a voice. It's country. I love country music. I grew up playing country music, and anything that's got a mandolin and a banjo in, I'm going to listen to it anyway. But I just loved that it's just such a cool crossover from pop to country in such a brilliant way. And it's still got that amazing, like, I love American records because everything's done great and it's real a lot of the time, and things are played properly. You've got real drummers, you've got proper amazing banjo players, amazing mandolin players, amazing guitarists. And it really set the scene for me when I was writing guitar riffs and stuff for this record to think like, okay, riffs are still cool. Like acoustic guitars are cool. You know what I mean? Like, because I've always trying to, but I play acoustic guitar. I'm not an electric guitar player. So when I think that, it puts a smile on my face,
Yeah. There's a guy called Tyler Ballgame who's like just come out.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah.
I really like his stuff, and it's quite like meatloafy at times.
Yeah.
But it's got that like vintage like sound. Like it's got the song Matter of Taste is like, I just think it's great. I think the production's great. It all sounds really real, vintage kind of analog gear. You can feel that it's like real, which I really love, and I think we're kind of losing a little bit at the minute in everyday music. But I would say I'm enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah, amazing. And then just kind of wrapping up, guys. Like, what the album's out today. What else can we look forward to?
Well, we've got lots of shows. We've got a 10-year anniversary album coming out from the Tell Me It's Real, which will be great. It's going to be amazing to have out. With some extra stuff from the period then. And then, we have a UK and European tour and then an Asia tour at the end of the year. So very exciting. Excited to play the record live and just take it out. I think we're going to have like a really nice balance now with this album. So
yeah.
Well, amazing, guys. I appreciate you taking time out of your afternoon, and appreciate it. And, enjoyed the album.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
us,
man.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Nice to see you. Bye.